Welcome everyone to the GS core. In this video, we are going to discuss with you the most important and the most crucial question: why law optional for IAS exam? We have seen that many of the students, they face the biggest question in their life when they are about to choose the optional subject for their exam. And in this issue, they generally misunderstood, or they basically go with the trend of the past, like philosophy or public administration or sociology. So even if the student has not gone through this subject in their, you can say, in his graduation, rather than they are just going through the trend in the market that these subjects are sufficient for them. And this is the point where they commit the biggest mistake. So what should be the better solution while you are choosing any optional subject? The thing is, first of all, if you are a law graduate, then believe me, no other subject is better for you, because you have already covered everything during your graduation, and you just have to go through about the practice sessions of this subject, and you can easily crack this paper specifically. But if you go for any other subject like PSIR, like PubEd, like sociology or history or some other subject, by taking the advice from the persons who have some ulterior objectives, it doesn't serve the purpose. If you really are concerned about your paper, about your aim, then please think seriously. Because during your graduation program, you have already read each and every subject of law optional. Then you only require, it only requires only 5% of your efforts, only 5%, nothing else. Believe me, I will just, let you know about how to approach when you were having law during your graduation days. Now coming when you are non-law graduate, then how should you proceed for that as well? And why it is also beneficial for the non-law students as well? I will discuss this particular session, in this session I will discuss with all of you about the strategy when you are a law graduate and when you are a non-law graduate. And believe me, if you go by the trend of the past years, let me just make it very clear to all of you, the success ratio of law optional as compared with any other optional subject is highest. Believe me, even if you observe the last 10-year pattern, on an average, I'm just telling you, the success ratio is 10% plus in law optional, which is far higher than any other subject. I will give you the facts and figures. Even, I'm just giving this average actually. It is just average. Even during 2013, the success ratio of the law optional students was 24%. Even during 2015, this success ratio was around 17%. Even in 2017-18, it was around 14%, 13 or 14%. So guys, if you go by this particular trend of the past year, even I tell you, the persons who actually opt for PubEd, the success ratio is around 8%. If you opt for history, it is around 7%. If you opt for PSIR, it is around 8%. In anthropology, it is around 9%. In geography, it is only 5%. But in sociology, it is 10%. And in law optional, it is more than 10%. So when I say more than 10%, it is 10 or 11% actually, in the range of 10 to 11% on an average. It is the average figure I am telling you. So if you are the law graduate, I just tell you the subjects of law optional, and then you can easily understand whether you should go for the law optional or for the other subjects. Like in paper 1, you have 2 sections. One is about constitutional law and administrative law. And the second paper is your international law. Similarly, in paper 2, one is IPC, and then Indian Contract Act, Sales of Goods Act, Partnership Act. Then there is one subject called CLD, Contemporary Legal Developments, which includes contemporary developments, not the entire subjects, but only the contemporary developments, and other small topics as well. So now just tell me or think yourself, which subject is beneficial for all of you? And there is another subject as well, one is law of torts as well. One of the easiest subject in legal education. So guys, if you are a law graduate, please observe the pattern, the subjects, constantly, which you have gone through very deeply. Admin law. Obviously, these are the common, these are the most essential subjects of a law graduate, which you cannot ignore during your graduation days. Even if you consider international law, one of the interesting subject, IPC, I believe it is the one of the interesting subject in which every law graduate, they find interest. Then only the basic subjects, I should say they are nothing. They are simply the most easiest subject for any law graduate. Contract Act, Sales of Goods Act, Partnership Act, Contemporary Legal Developments, and Law of Torts. Even these subjects, you can attempt the answers of these subjects at any moment of time without any hurdle. So if you are a law graduate, these are the subjects which you have already covered in your graduation. And the most important thing is, these are the basic and the most essential subject which every law student is deeply concerned of. They are already very well aware about the subjects, number 1, the case laws, everything, because they are the interesting as well as the most crucial subject of the law student. So guys, please try to understand. Do not go by the experience of any Tom, Dick and Harry. Please avoid this approach if you really want to succeed. Do not go by the experience of any other person, because the point is, if you have already gone through any subject during your graduation, this gives you an edge over the others, because this will obviously make this will make it easier for you to prepare these subjects in the most easy manner. You know very well about the courses, about these books, about the material, about the cases, about the sections. Then why you are going for any other subject? It is of no use. So the law graduates, I sincerely recommend all of you, please do not choose any other subject. Simple. Now the question might be in the minds of the non-law graduates, then why we should go for the law? Just ignore this discussion about the law graduates now, because they have already covered this thing. What about you? In case of non-law graduates, let me just make it very clear. Number one, constitutional law. You automatically cover this subject in Indian polity. This subject you automatically cover. So in journal studies, you are already covering these subjects. Simple. So just take an advantage of this. So you will be covering this consti. So the most crucial section of paper 1, that is section A, is constitutional law. And admin law is just, you can say, is the only thing which you are about to study. And even this you cover somehow in governance part as well. So Indian polity and governance, if you go by that syllabus, so you automatically cover around 90% in the journal studies paper. So this gives you an edge or benefit. Number one, when you are coming to this international law, guys, please mind it. It is the international law, and once you become an IAS officer or once you go for the IFS position, international law is not going to leave you at all. Even if you have gone through this subject or not, this is going to be a part of your life. So it is essential for every UPSC aspirants to just go through this international law, the basics only. And somehow, the international relations, the subject which you read in journal studies, this is also somehow related with this international law. Not exactly, but you can take help from IR as well in IL. So I will teach you how to link international relations with international law. Because in international law, legal part is having little value. It is the international relations subject actually which we try to link with this international law. So we will discuss about the legal part, but this legal part is effective when you club this with the international relations. So automatically, when you are covering international relations, it will help you out in covering international law. So this is also a benefit for all of you. Think about it. Then coming to the IPC. IPC is a subject which actually, create interest among all of the students. Because we all are concerned with IPC in our life. And once you become an IPS or IAS officer, it is compulsory for all of you. And believe me, once you start reading this IPC, you will never leave this subject. The most essential, crucial, interesting subject of this legal field, which, create a lot of interest because we come across through the real life situations only. So this is also going to create interest in you. So once you create an interest in your mind, it will help you out. So IPC is the only subject you can say which you have to cover. And believe me, once you start reading IPC, you will only focus upon IPC. Okay, guys. And then Indian Contract Act, Sales of Goods Act, Partnership Act and CLD, the contemporary legal developments. This portion is, you can say, or directly or indirectly concerned with journal studies. Because whatever you study in journal studies, the legal portions actually, so that will automatically help you out to cover CLD. You have to just focus upon these subjects, and believe me, these are the basic subjects of law. And these subjects have no difficulty in studying at all. Whatever you do in your daily life, these are these subjects only. Like for example, if you go and buy a mobile phone from a shop, and if that mobile phone, is not working properly, then what should be the action at your end? against that seller. Simple. These are the few basic things which we do in our daily routine life. So automatically you will be covering all these things. So that is the reason I used to tell, please choose your optional subject very carefully. If you are a law graduate, no if and but, no. It is the only choice which will help you out in your life in cracking UPSC. And if you are non-law graduate, just think about the situation. Constantly, I mean, you are covering 99% or 95% automatically in general studies paper. International law, automatically you are covering around 75% in IR. IPC is the only subject which you have to go through, and rest you deal in your daily life. So, in law optional, just think about when you have to just pay attention towards this particular optional subjects, this law optional, and just 25% of your energy, if you dedicate over here, you can simply focus the rest of your energy, you can dedicate yourself towards GS. So choosing law optional will decrease your burden of preparing general studies subject. You can mainly focus upon general studies, and law optional will work as a catalyst for you to prepare for this exam. So guys, please think about choosing your optional subject once again and just think about it. If you have any queries, any doubts about this law optional subject, please just contact us. We will help you out, definitely. We will tell you, we will guide you how to prepare for these subjects. And last and final advice I just want to give all of you. Law optional is one of the subject which will ease down your pressure of preparing for UPSC. Because either you are covering this subject through journal studies, or you have to just deal with the real life situations only. So whenever you deal with the real life situations where you see, like whenever you are traveling in metro and if you come across any incidents of crime, then what should be your response? So once you deal with these kind of situations, automatically you cover the syllabus in most easiest manner. Then you are not supposed to go for the cramming. No cramming at all you require. Only the thing is you have to just apply the mind. Just concentrate upon the basics and then apply your mind, answer is prepared. Simple. So this is the approach of choosing law optional in UPSC, which will definitely help you out absolutely to become an IAS officer. So think clearly, and if you have any doubts, any issues, please let us know. We are here to help you out to choose the optional subject, definitely. Thank you all of you. Thank you very much.